Hawks, welcome back to our Little Hawks YouTube channel. If you don't remember me, my name is Miss Jenna, and I hope you guys are enjoying our Little Hawks YouTube channel so much, and I cannot wait to do today's lesson with you all. Are you ready to have some fall fun? Awesome. Okay, so today's lesson is called Fall Tree. Do you have any ideas about what we might be doing today? Well, we are going to be making a tree out of brown pipe cleaners and beads that look like the color of fall leaves. Before we get started in our lesson, let's talk about a few vocabulary words. So our first one today is branch. Do you know what a branch is? Let's think. I think you know what it is. A branch is that part of the tree that carries all the leaves. It can be really big or it can be really small. And this is actually a twig that came off of a branch on a tree. Our next word is crow. Crows are black birds that are really sneaky and quiet. They're really popular around Halloween time because sometimes they can be a little bit scary too. And crows land in trees, and they put their nests up there and they live in the trees. Our next word is acorn. An acorn is a little seed that comes from a tree. You can see them all over the ground during fall. If you go outside, you can probably see a lot of them. This is what they look like. Our last word is root. Roots are the parts of plants and trees that are underground. We can't see them, but that's what helps the tree grow. They absorb water and bring it all the way up the tree so it can grow super tall. They're really twisted like this pipe cleaner that I made. For this lesson, you will need brown pipe cleaners, you will also need red, orange, and yellow beads to represent the leaves on trees during the fall. You could also use brown beads to represent acorns. Next, you will need a plate. You can use a paper plate or a plastic plate like I did. And this plate is really cool because it has a lot of fall colors on it like yellow and orange and green. I will show you 3 different methods in this video for this lesson, and if you're going to use the plate method, you will also need tape. If you choose to do the rock method, you will need a rock. I went outside and I found this rock and it was really cool, but it was a little bit dirty, so I washed it. If you choose to do the stick method, you will need to find a stick outside. Okay, so the first thing that you need to grab are your brown pipe cleaners. Then you can use your plate and your tape, or you can use a rock or your stick. I will show you how to do all 3 of the different methods for this lesson so you have options and you can choose which one you want to do. The first option that you have for this lesson is to use a stick. I'm going to show you how I would do if I was going to use a stick. So you're going to take your pipe cleaner and your stick and you're going to twist the pipe cleaner around the stick however you want. This is how I did mine. And you can see that it makes a trunk for the tree. And you can do that with all of your pipe cleaners. And it will make a really big tree, and then we can do our lesson that way. So after I twisted all my pipe cleaners on my stick, this is what my tree looks like so far. If you want to, you can do it this way. The next option that we have is to use a rock. So we're just going to do the same thing that we did with the stick, but we're using a rock this time. We're going to take the pipe cleaner, we're just going to twist it around the rock just like this. So I finished wrapping around my pipe cleaners, and this is how it turned out. If you like the way this looks, you can go find a rock in your backyard and you can twist your pipe cleaners around the rock if you want. And we have one more method that I'm going to show you, and this is the one that I'm going to use today. So with this method, I'm going to take a little piece of my tape, just like that, and I'm going to take my plate and my pipe cleaner, and I'm going to stick my pipe cleaner to my plate. And that way it's really secure and it sticks straight up, so we can use it for our lesson, and it's going to be a really great way to keep your tree nice and straight. So this is what this looks like after I take down all my pipe cleaners, and I just kind of squeeze it together at the end so it's just a little bit more secure and straight up. So you can do the same if you want. You can even twist the branches together so it's even more secure. There's lots of different options that you can do with this one.
After I twisted my pipe cleaners together to make a tree trunk, this is how my tree turned out.
For the next part of our lesson, we are going to use our beads. So for this part of the lesson, you want to take a bead and string it onto your tree to any branch that you choose.
This is a red bead on one of my branches.
You can repeat this process with all of these leaves. And when you're done, we're going to do something really, really fun.
I am done stringing all my beads onto my branches. I'm going to go ahead and count them, and let's see how many beads I have. First, let's count how many branches I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 branches. Now let's start with number 1. How many beads do I have on this branch? Can you see? That's right, we have 3 beads. 1, 2, 3. We have 1 yellow, 1 orange, and 1 red. How about on this one? We have 4 beads on this one. We have 2 yellow, 1 orange, and 1 red. How about on this one? Branch number 3. How many beads do we have on branch number 3? We have 4 beads. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many oranges do you see? I see 2 oranges. We have 1 right here and 1 right here. We also have a yellow, and what color is this one? This one is red. Let's see. This is branch number 4. How many beads do we have on this branch? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 beads on this branch, and we have 2 reds, 1 orange, and 1 yellow. And this is branch number 5. How many leaves do we have on this one? We have 3. And can you name the colors? This one is orange, this one, yellow, and this one is red. Good job, guys!
So after you finish putting the beads on your tree, we're going to form the tree to look like letters. Let's start with letter P. Can we think of any words that start with the letter P? What about parrot? That's a type of bird, right? And parrots land in trees. What else can you think of? Maybe pineapple? Do you guys like pineapples? I love pineapples. Alright, so now let's try to make a letter P with our tree. I finished making my tree look like a P, and this is how it turned out. You can go ahead and try to make your tree look like a P too. Next, I want to try and see if we can make an H with this tree. Can we make an H? Do you think so?
After I untangled my tree, this is what it looks like, and I'm going to go ahead and try to make an H with my tree. This might be a tough one, but we'll see.
This is the H that I made with my tree. Let's try to think of some words that start with H. Can you think of any? I can think of one. How about happy? Happy starts with H. I'm happy right now. I hope you guys are happy too, because we're having a lot of fun. What's another word that starts with H? How about hair? Hair starts with H, right? I have hair, you have hair. Okay, so we're gonna make one more letter, and it's gonna be the letter C. Before we get started, let's try to think of some words that start with C. How about a vocab word that we learned in the beginning? Can you remember what it is? Crow. Crow starts with C, right? What is a crow? Do you remember? Crow is a bird, and they're black. They're usually black birds, and they land in trees and live in trees, and sometimes they can be a little bit sneaky. What's another word that starts with C? Castle starts with C, right? Who lives in castles? Princesses, maybe kings and queens. Okay, so let's try to make a C with our tree.
Alright, so I have untangled my tree, and now I'm going to try to make a C. Let's see if I can do it.
Okay, so this is the letter C that I made. Did yours turn out really cool? I hope so. I think it's really cool how all the bees are twisted together. Can you imagine if trees looked like this? That would be crazy. Alright, Little Hawks, so before we end our lesson today, let's just go over a few questions. So first, what kind of animals can you find in trees? Do you remember what we talked about at the beginning of our lesson about birds? What kind of bird lives in a tree? The crow lives in a tree, right? You can find crows, owls, and maybe they eat worms that live in trees. What other kinds of things can you find in trees other than animals? Maybe you can find apples in trees. Maybe you can find acorns in trees. Oranges, flowers. There's so many things, right? What else can you think of? Okay, so we know that leaves are orange, yellow, red, brown. They're all sorts of different reddish colors in the fall, right? So what color are they during the spring? If you guessed green, then you are correct. The leaves during the spring are green. Lastly, what is your favorite letter to create with the tree? I have to say my favorite letter to create with the tree was an H. I really enjoyed making an H. It was fun to twist all the branches together, and making that little line in the middle was really cool. If you want to make more letters that I didn't show, you can go ahead and try them on your own, and you can also try to make numbers and shapes and other objects with this project. Well, Little Hawks, that is the end of our fall tree lesson. I hope you guys had so much fun today, and I cannot wait for our next virtual lesson. Bye, Little Hawks!